What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching and listening to my rambles and rants about the world. I appreciate your appreciation, and I got a funny story to tell you guys about one of the things that has happened to me on my second trip, my second mushroom trip. And it sort of started to happen like even on the subsequent trips, the following trips. So I had my first trip in May of 2015 or 16, sorry, May 2016, right? Then I didn't trip again for another 4 or 5 months. So when I came to do my second trip, I was like still, you know, that trip was starting to become a bit of a memory, but I knew I wanted to try it again. So I only did like 2 grams, right? So, and I planned that I'm gonna go on about my day. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna do what I usually do with my day. So as I trip and everything, I think I made a separate video for that trip. I took a cold shower, blah, blah, blah. Weird things started happening there. I was talking to something. And then I'm like, okay, I wanna go to the gym right now. I felt like a warrior thing. And then I of course, I'm experiencing here, like my ego is like shot, right? Like I'm just, when I say ego, I'm like, I feel like I'm everything, right? So I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, so what do you gotta do? Like you're gonna go to the gym. You're gonna go to the gym. Like, what do you need? What do you got? What do you got? Like, you know, you're kind of like, you become a kid, you know, like you're so in the moment, like you forget everything. So then I'm like, okay, hold on. You need your gym card. And then I grab my wallet and I look at the cards, right? So I have a bunch of them here. This is the bus one, but I have like the, you know, the driver's license, the gym card, blah, blah, lots of fucking IDs here, okay? And I look at these IDs. I lose my shit. I am on the floor laughing for fucking 5 minutes. Just laughing. I'm looking at my driver's license, right? It's like this is, you know, again, your ego shot here, you know? I'm looking at this thing. I have it by the way with me here. And I'm like, Mobayet Said. What the fuck? Is that really you? That's you? That's your name? And I start laughing. I'm like, hold on. I'm not really this person. Just somebody named me this. Like somebody just gave me this name, you know? And I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm like, huh? So this is the government ID. So this is the way the government thinks of me as a citizen, right? As a Saeed Mobayet. So now, therefore, I am a citizen of a country that is called Canada. Oh, Canada. And I start fucking losing my shit. Lose my shit. I'm like, hold on. What is Canada? I'm like, wait. So somebody just drew a line, and now I live within the confines of this country, and it's called Canada, and now I'm a citizen of it, and my name is Said, and I completely lose my shit. I started just laughing hysterically on the ground. Then I go through like all my IDs, and I'm like, really? That's who I am? Like that's who me is? So this is the government. The government knows who I am, and the government knows, like, this is my name. I am a registered citizen. And I am a Canadian, and I'm like, these things stop making sense to me, because I'm laughing, you know, I'm laughing at the absurdity of it. I'm like, you know, in my mind, there's an automatic understanding that this is absurd. Like, no, I'm not Canadian, and I'm just having this temporary name thing called Saeed, right? It's just an instantaneous understanding. Like, you're accessing this higher wisdom, right? It's just instantaneous understanding that I'm not Saeed, and I'm not fucking Canadian, and who the fuck said Canada is this country and drew this line? And it was all absurd. I started just losing my shit on the ground, man. Just losing it for fuck, just like, what? This is absurd. And then yeah. So then I'm like, okay, I guess that's what it is. And of course, I get out of my house, and then I start to look at the apartments, right? I'm walking to the gym. It's about 20-minute walk. And I start to look at the apartments, and I'm like, hold on a second. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Like, why did we build this? hold on. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why are we living here? Hold on. And I'm looking at the trees. I'm like, wow, they're so beautiful. But I'm like, hold on. We carved out these, like, using stone and wood, like these things, and now we call them cities. It just didn't make sense to me. I was laughing. And then I started to look at cars, right? And I started to see cars. This was like a weekday, right? And I probably left my house around 2, 3, so it was getting a little busier, right? Closer to rush hour. And I'm like, oh, people are, like, they're coming back from work now? And I'm like, this is absurd. This is absurd. People are driving cars. And then I'm looking at cars. I'm like, this is absurd. I'm like, cars are absurd things. What are cars? And then I start to laugh, right? And I'm like, oh, we just like manipulated nature and we created these things. And now we drive them. But why do we drive them? Oh, we drive them to go to work and back from work. And I lose my shit. I'm like, wow, society is just absurd. It's all absurd, social behavior, right? Then I'm walking around, I'm like, I'm looking at chicks, right? Now I know I'm a pretty attractive, sexy, good-looking guy, right? So I get a lot of attention from chicks. Not bragging, guys, believe me. I was that kid that never got a girlfriend in high school and was like shy as fuck. I was that kid, so believe me, no bragging here. But now, you know, pretty good-looking guy, pretty sexy, get a lot of attention. And I'm looking at chicks as I'm walking, right? Now I get this big smile on. And I see the way they're trying to hide their attraction to me, right? And as I pass them, I just like, I can't help but like let out a laugh. Again, like my ego's shut at this point. I'm seeing things objectively and I have like little to no social inhibitions at this point, right? So I'll fucking laugh in the public. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, I'm seeing how like the chicks are like hiding the fact that they find me attractive, that you know? And I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm like, why do people do that? I'm like, why do guys and girls hide their attraction to one another? Doesn't make sense. Why do we hide? Why do we repress? Why do we not just smile at someone and acknowledge that we find them attractive when we see them? Instead of trying to hide it and like getting weird and pulling out your phone because you're getting weirded out because you're not comfortable with expressing your love or your admiration for another human being in that moment. And I started cracking up. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And I realized, I'm like, oh, people are doing that all the time. They're hiding their feelings. They're hiding their emotions. They're deceiving one another. And again, I'm living in the land of absurdity at that point. I'm in absurd city. Everything has become absurd. The whole society, the enterprise that we call society just became absurd. And it's still fucking very much absurd to me at this point, right? You know, it's very absurd. This is why I'm working to create a new society, right? Because to me, the way we have society right now, it's absurd. Like, it's too hilarious for me to even get upset over it anymore. It's just too hilarious. It's just too funny. They're just like, oh, this is fucking hilarious, you know? You know, especially like when you see people like putting on a show, right? And trying to show you like what their accomplishments are in life. And this is what I do. Here's who I am. It's like, it's hilarious to me. Like, I just got it. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. I'm past the point of like being upset over it, of the way things are. I'm past that point. I had my share of it. Now it's just, it's absurd land. It's absurd city. Society is absurd to me. And the best response for me is usually humor and laughter. And then of course, working and finding practical ways to sort of create a new society, right? So yeah, that was really funny, man. That was really funny. And it's still funny. It's still funny to me. It's still funny what we do, the way we deceive each other, the way we hide our emotions and our feelings from one another, the way we try to impress other people with our accomplishments and or the way we look, and you know, it's like, come on, man. And this is ridiculous though. These IDs in government, and being a citizen in countries and political boundaries, right? Because, oh, you know, these people supported that political system and these people didn't. So now we drew this line. People who live north of this line were people who supported the British Empire at the time. People who live south of that line were the revolutionaries who wanted to do something else. We're not talking moral, right or wrong. We're just saying this is how it is. I don't care what was right or wrong, to be honest. It's just separation. It's like hilarious. Like just because two people didn't agree on something, now we're separating. Now we're saying you're this and you're that. Now mind you, Canada and USA were pretty good friends. And this is, I mean, I come from the Middle East. Okay? Yeah, you want to talk about separation? I come from Syria. You want to go see separation, see lines and bullshit there? Yeah, it's absurd. It's too absurd, you know, that, oh, because I disagree with you, I have a disagreement with you on something, now you're my enemy. Or now you're different, you know, I don't have to be just you're different than me. You know, trees are probably tripping balls, man. Trees are probably like getting high. Like they're like as the fungus grows, right? And as it intermingles with the plant kingdom, right? They're probably getting high on that mushroom wisdom, on that mushroom fucking wisdom. And the trees are wise on their own. And they're probably like, yo, what the fuck? What are these stupid humans doing? Putting these boundaries and creating these things. Trees don't give a fuck. A Canadian tree doesn't think of itself as different from a Russian tree, right? It doesn't see itself as different from an African tree. Okay? Trees don't give a fuck about political boundaries. And they're just there. It's a tree. This is it. This is the land. This is nature. This is the way. This is the Tao. It's just us humans with we think we're really fucking smart and intelligent, but really became slave to the mind, to our minds, right? We became slave to this head game. We come in and we say, oh yeah, let's have these political boundaries and you're us and them, you're different than me because our great ancestors have disagreed on something. That's what's fucking hilarious, right? In most of the conflicts in the world, they're fighting over something where the great ancestors disagreed on something. And now you're fighting over it. You're still living in the past, man. You're still living in the past. Come on, get a life. Be here in the now. And you'll see that there's no difference between me and anybody else. We're all the same. We're all the same. We're all the same. And I'm happy that the way the mushroom presents it to me and maybe to many people is this absurdity thing, right? Because you can get really pissed off at the way things are. But the mushroom, the way it presented it to me the first few times, presented it to me in a very hilarious, absurd manner, which I still carry with me. You guys see me in these videos, right? I think society is absurd. I find humor to be maybe the most appropriate response, immediate response, short-term response, and absurdity. And the longer-term response is to start to work on each other, change yourself, and have a vision for yourself, and become a participant, acting member, cell, right? We're all cells in building a new society that is based on love, unity, oneness, connection with nature, because nature is us, we're nature, connection with nature, connection with each other, community, love, and no bullshit. No fucking bullshit, no boundaries, political boundaries and religious boundaries and cultural boundaries. And that's what the mushroom does. The mushroom dissolves all boundaries. And I have a separate video for that coming up, that specific point, that the psychedelic dissolves all boundaries. But that's a separate video. I'm going to end the video here. God bless you all, guys. Keep doing your thing. I love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.